Hi everyone, online personal trainer Gavin Townsend here. Just measuring the mid part of the bicep, taking the whole tricep into account, and currently I'm at about 17.5 inch there with regards to my arm on the right side. I've also got the same symmetry on the left. I'm going to give you a few tips on how I manage to stay relatively lean, but also try and keep my arms in proportion to the rest of my body. So it's June 2015 and I train hard. If I'm honest, I train at the gym probably 5-6 times a week on average with weights. I also do a lot of cardio training, but my nutrition at the moment is spot on. So if you can tell, my forearm at the moment is quite good in relationship to my tricep and also the bicep. But also I try and keep my arms in proportion with my shoulder, my chest and my back musculature as well. I'm going to give you a few simple hints and tips. One is nutrition. I always bang on about nutrition to people. I'm a bit of a stickler for it now because for years I spent ages just dictating to people exercise, but as soon as I worked out a nutrition strategy and identified with their faults in nutrition, their body's changed. I'm currently standing here at 16 stone and I try and keep relatively lean all year round. I'm just going for a bit of a bulking phase before I really cut down for a photo shoot later this year. So let's come on to the tips then. So number one is always going to be nutrition. Now, a few things that you can do around training any muscle group is identify if you're pre-fueling. So you might have a meal about an hour or 45 minutes before training. If you want a bit of an energy spike just before training, you might look at the likes of a thermogenic, typically known as a fat burner, or you might look at caffeine. Bear in mind that caffeine is a prime active ingredient in fat burners and also pre-workouts. Potency levels, you might look at an Americano shot. Then if that doesn't work for you, consider the likes of a fat burner. If that doesn't work for you, look at a pre-workout. But again, try and grade your pre-workouts in terms of potency because they can knock your head off, and some of them do give you this whole itchy scalp, nasty, nauseous feeling, and I've also known some people to want to go to the toilet just off the back of their dodgy pre-workout. Anyway, moving on, make sure that again your nutrition is bang on. We've identified with pre-fueling to give you the extra energy throughout your workout. You could look at the likes of maltodextrin, which will give you some added sugar energy throughout the workout. You could also identify now with BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. Definitely 100%, if you want to build your muscles up, have those during all exercise. It's also commonly known as intra-training. Now, directly after exercise, personally, what I tend to do now is have my protein shake and have that with a meal about an hour after exercise. So I allow myself to fully recover, get home, relax, and also drink lots of fluid as well. So I allow the digestive tract to, well, digest and utilise the food to its best effect. Now, I've done a lot of research into the colon and to the digestive system as well. If your colon is too toxic, if your digestive system isn't working to its optimum, then the biggest issue there is going to be that you're not going to get the absorption from the likes of the colon, and you're not going to get the best effects for your body. So number one is nutrition. Number two is identify with your digestive tract and make sure that you're not too toxic in the colon. So you might want to look at your nutrition in detail there. Again, there's a relationship there between your nutrition and toxicity levels within your colon. I haven't even talked about training arms, guys. The point is, so many people slave away in the gym doing all these amazing exercises. Yeah, man, I'm going to do these back exercises, throw my body weight into it, and I'm going to really put my back out because I'm trying to train my arms. No, if you're training arms, train them with good posture, good technique, and remember, it's an arms exercise, not a lower back exercise, especially when you're training your biceps. Some of the best bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts don't lift stupid heavy weight. They do good exercise and good form, and the weight naturally increases as they've got the form and the exercise spot on. Again, muscle growth and bodily repair comes from nutrition in the kitchen, also around exercise, but also through correct training methods. You will also increase your size. I find that a lot of people, a lot of muscle groups especially, are receptive to growing with high reps and lower weight, especially the smaller muscle groups. Larger muscle groups, I've always found that these work better with higher weight and lower reps and working with more compound movements. Identifying with the actual muscle group first and foremost through doing a warm-up of some description really helps offset muscle damage and joint damage at that as well. So again, let's come on to the actual exercise that you can do to build up those arms again, working those biceps and those triceps, and identify with your symmetry also. So we've talked about nutrition, we've talked about your actual bowel function to help with the absorption of food. We're now talking about exercise and few hints and tips. I don't do massive heavy weights all the time. What I tend to do is work with low weight, high reps. So I'd start my bicep curls off more than likely with a rope because it integrates the forearms, very slowly up, very slowly down. So slow on the concentric movement and slow on the eccentric. And getting the breathing technique right is so crucial as well. So on the concentric, I breathe out slowly, and on the eccentric, I release and breathe in. So in terms of technique, always focus on your technique. In terms of the actual exercise itself, don't copy the idiots in the gym who are swinging themselves around doing all this bollocks. Focus on doing it properly and you'll be less injury prone. And like me, I haven't had an injury for over 8 years, and I train, like I say, at least with weights 5 times a week. In terms of training your biceps and your triceps, look at the idea of training, because your arms work agonistically and antagonistically with other muscle groups, i.e. your back, when you're doing a row, you're actually isolating and bringing into play the bicep, and when you've really squeezed in at this point here, you really get the head of the bicep in. So always recognise that when training your back, when doing these back exercises, you're actually bringing your arms into play. So you could be a bit more challenging at the end of that particular workout and throw some bicep curls in, some concentrated curls in, some easy bars, some rope exercises with the biceps. Again, with training your shoulders, especially in a shoulder press motion, training your chest with either press-ups or chest presses, you're working your triceps. So you're working the triceps agonistically and what's called antagonistically as well. So bear that in mind. So already your arms are having 2 workouts a week effectively. What you can look to do is throw in a 3rd workout a week specifically tailored to your arms. So try and work them in proportion. Try and whatever you're able to do strength wise on your biceps, try and make sure that you can do the same on your triceps also. So we've talked about a few things today. Nutrition, which most people forget is the main aid for building muscles. Secondly, we've talked about bowel function, and then we've also talked about the importance of not showing off in the gym and just training properly. We've also coming on to the last subject, and that's identifying with sleep. Now, sleep is critical for full body growth. I've done research and there's evidence supporting between 12 AM and 2 AM. That's your optimal time for muscle growth and repair. So if you get to bed on time, have a good settled night's sleep, that will also have a positive impact on your muscle growth and repair. There's also research around micellar casein and the slow releasing protein properties there, and having that in the evening could benefit you. So look into that also. I'm Gavin Townsend. This is my YouTube channel. Feel free to follow my journey. I've got a shop in Redditch, and I'm also doing personal training on a one-to-one basis and globally. Either feel free to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, like me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter, PT Gavin Townsend. Have a great day, guys. Any questions, please feel free to send them to me on Facebook. All the best.